Katie Ledecky in lane number 4 certainly will be the odds-on favorite. All the eyes will be on her. Just 17 years of age. She's already committed to Stanford, so the rich keep getting richer in the Bay Area between Cal and Stanford. Their swimming programs continue to get bolstered. Ledecky coming off that tremendous performance. The last Olympics picking up the gold medal. She will be swimming out of lane number 4. So we'll take a look at all the lanes, starting off with lane number 1. Swim Florida's Stephanie Peacock, 22 years of age, out of Cape Coral, Florida. Lane 2, Becca Mann out of North Baltimore Aquatic Club, just 16 years of age. Another North Baltimore Aquatic Club member, Jillian Ryan, 18 years of age, originally from Kutztown, Pennsylvania. World Championship gold medalist Katie Ledecky out of lane number 4. Now she's just 17 years of age, as we said, already committing to Stanford for next year. Lane number 5, it'll be Chloe Sutton.
Great Olympian, two-time Olympian, open water and pool.
Lane 6 is Sara Henry from Garner, North Carolina. Swimming at Texas A&M. Sierra Runge, lane number 7. And wrapping things up in lane number 8 will be Haley Anderson, Trojan Swim Club, an Olympic silver medalist in the 10K, coming to us by way of Granite Bay, California. So it's the women's 800-meter free final here from Irvine, California.
Strange night so far, no doubt about it. You had the big guns win. Adrian, Missy Franklin, Camille Adams. I mean, the ones that you kind of had a feeling were going to win did, but it's just a strange night to me in the sport of swimming right now. Katie Ledecky can kind of put things back to normal. World record just a couple months ago, as I mentioned at the top of the broadcast. She did that back in June in Houston. And you asked, why didn't she go to the Grand Prix in Santa Clara? Why did she do it at such a tiny meet? And we talked about the fact that she was just coming back from altitude training in Colorado Springs, kind of on the way home to Baltimore, wanted to make a stop at a smaller meet where there wasn't a lot of media attention, a lot of swimmers where she didn't have to spend all day at a pool. And
earlier this year,
she just swam so amazingly well at that meet. That little tiny meet, she goes 8:11 flat, the fastest time in history.
So Katie Ledecky in lane number 4 with an early lead, and this is an event obviously that she's excelling at. I think a lot of people forget that she's just 17 years of age. In the sport of swimming, obviously you recognize talent at a very early age, but is she basically coming into her prime, or is that still years away?
Well, I think in the old days, you'd think a lot of times, especially with women swimming, that you'd think she'd start peaking right now, but not anymore. You know, obviously money has changed the sport dramatically. College scholarships have changed the sport, especially for women. So I think she's well on her way to peaking even better later on. I think she hasn't even touched the surface of what she's capable of doing. I mean, if she can go 8:11 flat, which, by the way, she broke her own world record by almost 3 seconds. Her world record before that was set last summer at the World Championships, 8:13.86. She went 8:11 flat time. Dude, that is so fast. I mean, I just can't get over it. I mean, she was 4:05.7, and she negative split it. She came back faster her last 400 than she went out in her first 400.
Katie Ledecky, lane number 4, just 17 years of age. Hard to believe the talent and the poise this young lady has. As we mentioned, she's already committed to Stanford University. The big question will be, how long will she stay at Stanford before the lure of going pro gets involved?
Well, that's what's impressive about the fact that she's going to Stanford in any case. To start off, I mean, she could have easily turned pro and reaped the benefits over the last couple of years in what she's been able to do. I mean, World Swimmer of the Year last year, Olympic gold medalist, sort of the darling of those World Championships last summer. And so I think she could have easily turned pro and made a lot of money. So I have to give her a lot of props for kind of staying focused on the swimming pool and staying focused on her education, going to a great school at Stanford. Just a fantastic institution of learning and certainly a great swim school.
2 turns ago, she comes out under under world record pace. So how important is it for her to go out and set a time like that tonight?
The big question for her, and this is why it's so unbelievable what she's been able to do the last couple of years, she swims by herself. There's nobody really been close to her for 2 years. And so she's really got to kind of put those blinders on it and just know the fact that nobody's going to be even close to her. She's a second under world record pace right now, and it doesn't look like she is. I mean, she looks so easy going out, Todd. I mean, look at that. And this is interesting. Watch this next 75 meters or so, Todd. When she flips at the 400, I have a feeling first 400 going out in her 800 race is going to be faster than a lot of the top 400 swimmers this year. The fastest 400 swim of the year is 4:03, and that's Katie Ledecky.
So Katie Ledecky continuing to move on to world record pace. She has that record right now at 8:11 flat. Can she do something tonight here at Irvine at the World Aquatic Center for the Phillips 66 National Championship?
And the crowd really needs to start getting behind her because she can feel that energy, she can feel that, but the crowd just is kind of sitting on their butts right now. This is potentially going to shape up to be a great swim. 4:05.4. She's still under world record pace. Again, that's the 8th fastest time in the world this year in the 400 freestyle.
As we check in down on the pool deck with Carolyn Mano.
Well, Todd and Rowdy, you mentioned world record pace, and when Katie Ledecky is swimming at that pace, most of us can see it, but her coach, Bruce Gemmell, can actually hear it, he says. He describes the rhythm that he hears from the pool deck as something like a metronome with the stroke rate and the noise of the kick indicating whether his swimmer is fast or slow. He can hear those things from the deck, and while that's interesting to outsiders, Gemmell says that it actually shouldn't be that surprising because he spends about 20 hours a week or so on the pool deck. He said, you know, if you're a baseball coach, Carolyn, you can probably tell the difference between a 96-mile-per-hour fastball and a 101-mile-per-hour fastball, and it's the same thing with me, although he did admit that most of the time she is pretty easy on the ears, Todd.
No question about it. Great report from Carolyn Mano and a great analogy about the fastball. You can hear just the stroke of her swing.
Well, and that's what's so important about her swimming is the fact that she does get into that timing and that rhythm and that great tempo, just like other swimmers do in other strokes. It just doesn't apply to breaststroke and butterfly. All 4 strokes, tempo, you'll hear these swimmers keep talking about it over and over again. Now, she's fallen off a little bit. And this is where you start to think that maybe, just maybe, Bruce Gemmell he's no dummy. This guy really starting to look at Australia now. I mean, we've got the Pan Pacs coming up in a couple weeks, and he knows exactly what meet to really point to. He knew nobody was going to be able to beat her here. Actually, nobody's going to be able to beat her in Australia either, but you're talking about the clock. He knows exactly what he's doing, preparing for Katie Ledecky to swim fast in Australia, and that's what probably is happening as you see her start to fall off the pace here in this 800 freestyle. She's really gone up now, and I expect her to be off that world record pace by quite a bit here in this 600 mark.
She'll have 200 meters to go. Katie Ledecky in lane number 4. No one within 20 meters of her as she makes the turn all by herself.
I know all eyes are on Katie Ledecky, but Sierra Runge up there in lane number 7 is having a really good swim. Only 18 years of age. Has not made a major national team. She was on the Junior World Championships last summer, but up there in lane number 7, having a good swim, even though she just gets lost a little bit. It does everybody. It's not just her. Everybody gets lost a little bit when Katie Ledecky's in the pool.
Runge's going to go to Cal, and of course in lane number 2, Becca Mann sitting in 3rd place, but everyone right now focusing on lane number 4 and Katie Ledecky. Can she pull off the world record? As Rowdy pointed out, she's starting to fade just a little bit as she comes off. Is this a situation now where she's just not feeling it for the last 400? Why burn myself out?
You're so right, Todd. She just didn't feel it after the 400. I just felt like that 300 to 400 mark, even though she was still under world record pace, she started falling up quite a bit. And when she did that, I think mentally it takes a little bit out of you. Because you can, again, feel the energy. She knows time. This lady is a tenacious racer. She just loves to race. And so she's racing against the clock the last few years. She doesn't race against bodies. She races the clock. So I think in her mind, as Carolyn pointed out, I think she knows that tempo is off a little bit. Let's do enough to get ourselves on this team and start looking to boost it.
Sara Henry in lane number 7, just coming into your view on the left side of your screen. It's all Katie Ledecky coming down to the final 50 meters.
She's still going to win going away. She's still going to have one of the top times, if not the second fastest time in the world this year. That's 8:14. Check that, that's 8:18. So she's certainly going to be faster than the second place time in the world this year. 15, 16, yeah.
So Katie Ledecky comes to the wall and touches at 8:18.47. Getting the win with lane number 7 and Sara Henry grabbing second place. And Runge's time a respectable 8:24.69, but a personal best by a couple of seconds for Sara Henry.
What a swim by Henry, though, to make this World Championship their team. There you see Ledecky, 8:18. That's still the third fastest time in the world, just off of what Carlin went. But what a tremendous swim by this youngster. And how excited. I watched her expression when she turned on the wall. Big smile from her to make her first national team. And that's what it's all about, right there. Beautiful.
And here's the turn at 600, and the fans really got on their feet and made some noise.
They tried to, but it was hard. Once she started falling off a little bit, it was hard to get the crowd into it. But you check out this stroke here. Beautiful recovery. The head rotates with the body. She has such power that comes from the hips that keeps that head in line with her spine. So she's just got that great reach. She balances that line so well. The hands travel forward as they exit the water, constantly moving forward. Nice little small electric kick behind her.
So the final results in the women's 800-meter free look like this. It's Katie Ledecky with an 8:18.47 with the win. Sara Henry having a great swim, getting second. Becca Mann in third place. And Katie standing by with our Carolyn Mano.
Katie, congratulations to you. What were you focused on coming into this particular race?
Really just to make the Bandpacks team. Anything else would have been great too, but I'm happy with that.
You seem to be in such control of knowing where you are, knowing your time. Where does that come from, and what are you thinking about in that regard as you progress further into the race?
It just comes from the training and just settling into good pace.
How has this summer been going for you? I know you don't have school commitments that you would normally have, a lot of the charities that you're involved in. Does that give you a chance to really focus and hone in on what you need to do at Bandpacks?
Yeah, definitely. I really enjoy the summers just to really focus on swimming, and I've had a great summer so far, and I'm looking forward to seeing what's next.
We see you progress from meet to meet. To what do you attribute that to, the progress that you've been able to make so quickly?
Again, just the training, getting faster in practice, and it translates well to the meets.
And what are you most looking forward to about heading to Australia now?
Oh, I've just heard great things about Australia, so I can't wait to see what it's all about.
All right, thanks, Katie.
Thanks.
Katie Ledecky, your winner in the women's 800-meter free. That's her third consecutive national title in the 800 free. And Sara Henry, there's a happy young lady making the team as she finishes in second place. Becca Mann finishes in third. We'll be back to Irvine in a moment.
Ladies and gentlemen, the awards ceremony for the women's 800 freestyle. Presenting the awards for the women's 800 freestyle will be Mr. Michael Rich, representing BMW. BMW is a proud sponsor of USA Swimming. In 8th place from the Aggie Swim Club, Sara Henry. Seventh place from the York YMCA, Courtney Harnish. In 6th, from Cavalier Swimming, Leah Smith. Fifth place, from Swim Pasadena, Katie Campbell. In 4th place, Badger Swim Club, Lindsay Fruman. In 3rd place, your bronze medalist from the North Baltimore Aquatic Club, Becca Mann. 2nd place and silver medalist also from the North Baltimore Aquatic Club, Sierra Rungi. Your gold medalist in the women's 800 freestyle and 2014 Phillips 66 national champion, Nation's Capital Swim Club, Katie Ledecky.
Sun beginning to set in the Pacific here in Irvine, California, as we welcome you back to the Woollett Aquatic Center for the Phillips 66 National Championships. Todd Harris.